So, in these 16 mantras covered so far, Brahmadev is giving the Upadesha, Shastra Upadesha to the student who is a teacher of Rig Veda called Ashvalayana. Now, the Upanishad study, I'm sure you've all discovered that it is very intense. Yeah. And unlike the Bhagavad Gita, there is no build-up here. Yeah? Upanishad is not going to talk about Karma Yoga and Upasanas and the nature of the struggling jiva or even the Swarupa of Bhagavan. All this is assumed that is already over. Yeah? So Upanishad will come straight to the point. That is Tat Tvam Asi. Yeah? Tat Jagat Karanam Tvam Asi. So this is somewhat like that wide angle lens of a camera. If you want to take the panoramic view, if you want to capture it, then there is a wide angle lens. Yeah? So the Upanishad study or even a deep study of Gita expands the mind to give us a much larger perspective. Not only larger, but limitless understanding of the supreme reality as oneself. Yeah? Now, we are all familiar with the physical dimension, the gross body, very tangible, and we are using it every day, very obvious. Then there is a psychological dimension, that is the Sukshma Shariram, the mind, that is also witnessed and used. But this kind of study, these mantras help us to do mananam on the subtlemost dimension of ourselves, and that is that Atma Brahma. Now, to arrive at that discovery, at that conclusion, the Upanishads will make use of what is called a prakriya. Yeah? Prakriya is a teaching methodology or a strategy. We have seen quite a number of prakriyas when we did Tattva Bodha. Yeah? But just as a reminder, if you remember, there is a Panchakosha prakriya. That is there in Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankaracharya's, in Tattva Bodha and Taittiriya Upanishad. So where systematic analysis is done of all the 5 koshas, to arrive at the subtlemost Atma Brahma. And so various Vedanta Shastra will have different prakriyas. Karana Karya Prakriya in the Chandogya Upanishad was there, that you are not the Karyam, you are not the product, these bodies, but you are the Karanam. You are that causeless cause, from which the Karanam has emerged. So like that, we have different prakriyas. Another very famous one is Drik Drishya, a very beautiful prakarana by Adi Shankaracharya, Drik Drishya. But here, in the last few mantras, what we have seen is, in the Kaivalya Upanishad, the prakriya called Avastha Traya Prakriya has been used extensively. The Avastha Traya Prakriya is a systematic analysis of the 3 states of experience that one goes through every day. Yeah, they rotate: the Jagrat Avastha, Swapna, Sushupti, waking state, dream, and the deep sleep state. And how it was pointed out that the Jivaha Kridati, how this Jiva, Janmantara Karma Yoga, because of karma being the cause, the Jiva goes through all these 3 states of experience. They are alternating, yeah? And they are like Puratrayam, the 3 cities. And then in every one of them, the Jiva is a Sukha Dukkha Bhokta. And he is Karta in the waking state and Bhokta in the dream state, and again Bhokta in the deep sleep state. So Vishwaha in the Jagrat Avastha is the name of the waker, then Taijasa, the dreamer, and Prajnaha, the sleeper. And this Jiva becomes Sukha Dukkha Bhokta, that is the samsari. Now, the samsara is not only dukkham. So we have a lot of joyful moments also. But the problem is that we don't know how long the happy circumstance will last, and then when the dukkham will start. No? And when the dukkham will end, sukham will come anyway. And how long they will alternate, we don't know. So the jnani wants to go beyond both. Yeah? Pleasurable experience or painful experience, I want to be free from both. Yeah? But the jiva is under the spell of Maya. And so in each of these avasthas, he is enjoying and suffering and going up and going down. Yeah? So we see that each of these states, the jiva is identifying with one or the other body. Yeah? Sthula shariram, sukshma shariram. The waking state is like the recording stage, when all the experiences are being recorded in our mind. Then the dream state will be the replay mode. So the mind is going to project from the vasanas gathered in the waking state. And then when one is tired of dreaming, then the prajna takes over, and then there is deep sleep. Yeah? And in the deep sleep state, there is one is blissfully unaware. It's like the hibernate mode. So it is said that deep sleep state, we get a very good break. Yeah. And we get a break from our own lives. We get a break from the pain, from the struggle and effort that we have to put in the other two states. There is no duality, but there is an ananda anubhava. Yeah? Now, this prakriya has analyzed three states and tells us that you are neither Vishwaha, nor Taijasaha, nor Prajna. These are all relative states. Yeah? Then who are you? You are Avasthatraya Sakshi. So Sakshi we know means witness. So you are the witnessing awareness in all the three states. If you notice the language, I say, I slept yesterday or last night. I dreamt. I woke up. I am awake now. I used to live in Nagpur. I went to high school there. Now I am settled in Chennai. I plan to go to Singapore next year. So what is common in all this? I. So whatever the stage of life, whatever the avastha, there is a common denominator, there is a thread of continuity, and the Shastra says, inquire into that I, and so that I is the Avasthatraya Sakshi that the Kaivalya Upanishad is now pointing out. Sometimes I feel in this Upanishad there is a mini Mandukya Upanishad. See, the Mandukya Upanishad has only 12 mantras, but it is the most advanced Upanishad which one studies at the end of a whole course. Yeah. But there is an even more intense analysis of the three states: waking, dream, and deep sleep. So here we are getting an experience of a mini Mandukya within the Kaivalya Upanishad. Yeah. So that is where we stand now. And the yogis, they want to gain the knowledge, knowledge of Atma in the waking state. Yeah? But they also have what is called a conscious dream and a conscious deep sleep. You might have heard in yoga, we have Yoga Nidra. Yeah, there are lots of videos available. So Yoga Nidra is how can I sleep consciously? And as I'm dreaming, do I know I'm dreaming? So the yogis can do that. By purifying the mind, they are conscious not only in the waking state, but also in the dream and deep sleep state. Yeah? So that is a bit of a recap of the last few mantras. Now let us continue to 17th. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancha Prakashate. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancha Prakashate. Tat Brahma Hamiti Jnatva Tat ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते. You know, these mantras can also be chanted in the Anushtup meter, the familiar Gita meter. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancham Yat Prakashate Tad Brahmahamiti Jnatva Sarvabandhai Pramuchyate. Like that. So here, what does the mantra say? Jagrat Swapna Sushupti Adi. When you break the sandhi there, yan sandhi, Jagrat Swapna Sushupti Adi. Adi stands for etc. in Sanskrit. So in these three states, that is waking, dream, and deep sleep, and etc. Now, is there any other state other than these three? So then the commentators will say, what if somebody is daydreaming? You know, in the Jagrat Avastha, in the waking state, supposing I am building castles and dreaming, that can come under Adi, you know, or in an unfortunate accident, maybe somebody is in a coma. So the coma Avastha is in the Jagrat Avastha. Yeah? So these are the other odd states that are accommodated in the Adi. And also Samadhi, you know, the Yoga Samadhi, yogis will go into Samadhi, you know, by absorbing the mind in the waking state. You know? So all these states are covered. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Adi. Now this is called Prapancham. The word Prapancham means world. You know, very interesting word. Prakarshena Pancha Pancha. You know, Pancha is 5. So Prapancham, that is the whole creation, is Pancha Bhautikam. No, we have studied that in Tattvabodha, how the gross and subtle universes are intelligently designed and put together by the Panchamahabhutas. And hence, this is called Prapancham. So this mantra says, there is a Jagrat Prapancham, there is a Swapna Prapancham, and there is a Sushupti Prapancham. Earlier mantra said that it was Puratrayam, the 3 cities, and now we have the 3 worlds, Prapancham. So these 3 worlds, Yat Prakashate, that which is illumining these 3 worlds. Prakashate is which is throwing light upon the 3 worlds. Yat Prakashate. Yeah? Tat Brahma. Next line. Tat Brahma. That is the light of consciousness, that is Brahma. The Brahma is illumining the waking state, dream state, and the deep sleep state. You know, in another Upanishad, I remember, Kena Upanishad, very short but beautiful Upanishad, where the student in the beginning itself asks the Guru one question. He says, Gurudev, you know, what is it that makes the ears hear, eyes see? What is it that makes the mind think and the voice express itself? Is there a higher principle that is like, that directs the sense organs and the mind? What an intelligent question. This is how it starts. Kene shitam patitam manaha. And because it starts with Kene shitam, the Upanishad is called Kena Upanishad. Then the Guru answers right away. He says that is Chakshushaha Chakshuhu Pranasya Pranaha Vacho Hi Vachaha Shrotrasya Shrotram. Yes, my dear Shishya, that is the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, prana of the prana, mind of the mind, speech of the speech. And by that, that is the definition of Brahma. So this mantra is trying to show us that what one experiences is not as important as what is it that makes experience happen. Let me repeat that. So what you experience is not as important as that which makes the experience happen. And that is Brahma, Atma. Yeah? Like For instance, I have this flower here. Yeah, you see the flower here. Now, what illumines the flower? Of course, there is light in the room, so you can all see the flower. But what illumines the flower for me? My eyes, right? If my eyes are functioning, the eyes will, take in the light that is reflected off the flower will reach the retina, my eyes. But will my eyes independently see the flower? No. The eyes have to be backed by the mind. Yeah? If my mind is not present, if my mind is daydreaming, or elsewhere, then even though the eyes are seeing the flower will not enter the mind. Yeah? So we can say the mind is seeing the flower. Then we know what the mind will do. The mind receives the data. The color is yellow and the smell is fragrant and it is a tender flower. All this will be analyzed in the Chittam with the team there, Chittam, Buddhi, Manas, Ahankara, and come to the conclusion that this is a flower. Now, does the mind do this independently? The mind is also matter. Yeah? Where does the mind borrow the light from? That is the Atma. So, Brahma or Brahma Atma is reflecting in our minds. We have seen this before. Yeah? That is, the Anatma body, Anatma mind, Anatma sense organs are all powered by Atma. And hence, the truth of the matter here is that Atma is the ultimate seer of this flower. So consciousness is illuminating my mind, the mind is illuminating my eyes, and the eyes are bringing in the data of the flower. Yeah? So this external flower is experienced in my mind as a flower vritti. Yeah? Vritti is a thought. Now, if I take another flower, I have a rose also here, then the Chamandi vritti is gone. Now there's a rose vritti in my mind. Yeah? Then pen vritti. Yeah? Then something else, a glass vritti. So you see that the whole world is experienced in the mind, and the mind is powered by Atma. Yeah? So that is what this mantra is saying, Yat Prakashate. Can we not conclude that consciousness or Brahma Prakashate, Jagrat Avastha. So the entire waking state is experienced by the grace of Atma. And that is why Gita says Atma is Jyotisham Jyotihi, the light of all lights. And all these Anatma instruments we have, the body, sense organs, mind, yeah, they are all matter. And those, the matter components, Anatma components, are empowered by Atma. Yeah? So this is how perception takes place. Now you have to extend the logic to the dream state. Yeah? Swapna. In Swapna also we have objects. We would have a dream flower there. We would have a dreamer there who is plucking the flower. Yeah. So then who is illuminating the dream world? And who is illuminating the dream objects, the dream experiences, the situations? Same Atma. Yat prakashate swapna. And then finally we have Sushupti. Now in the Sushupti, there is no flower perception. There is no pen perception. There is no person perception. Yeah? Because the mind is switched off. Remember, it's the hibernate mode, yeah? Sleep mode. But then the Atma Brahma is still on. It is still witnessing. So here this mantra says, even the Sushupti Avastha, where there is no experience, even there Yat Prakashate. Atma is illuminating the Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep. But what is it illuminating? Could be a question on our mind. It is illuminating the absence of experience. It is illuminating nothing. Yeah? I gave you the example, no, of when I enter a dark room, then my eyes are open. What do I see? I see darkness. So, same way, the Sakshi or the Brahma Chaitanyam is the witness of the darkness, of the ignorance, of the absence of experience in the Sushupti Avastha. And so that covers the first line. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancham Yat Prakashate. So that consciousness, which is the constant invariable, yeah, illumines the waking state, illumines the dream state, and illumines the ignorance in deep sleep. So it is the Avasthatraya Sakshi. And this is true in all periods of time, across the yugas, cycles of creation. Yeah, that is na udeti na astam gacchati. You know, Swamiji would make this gesture here. You know, like open the eyes wide. So this Sakshi Brahma is like, does not have any eyelids. It does not go to sleep. It does not dream. It is ever awake. Yeah. So that is the Sakshi Chaitanya illumining the three words. Then Brahmadev is telling Ashvalayana, Tat Brahma Aham Iti. And that Brahma, Avasthatraya Sakshi, that eternal Nitya witness, I am. Iti. See, iti means a quote has ended. In Sanskrit, we don't have punctuation marks. We only have virama. You know, you see the virama in the mantras. When half a shloka is over, there'll be one stroke. When the full mantra is over, double strokes. Yeah? Purna virama. But iti means a quotation has ended. So what is Brahmadev saying? Tat Brahma aham. That Brahma is my true nature. Iti Nyatva, understanding this. Yeah? One has to discover the nature of that supreme reality as my nature. Yeah? Then what will happen? Sarva bandhaihi pramuchyate. The jiva is freed. Much dhatu means to release. The jiva is released from all the bandhana, all the bondage. Only yesterday, we saw karma bihi nasa badhyate. Krishna was telling Arjuna that the one who knows me, tatvataha, in reality, that the Krishna Swarupa is the Jiva Swarupa. Atma Swarupa is never bound by karmas. Same thing this mantra is saying here, that on discovering, on gaining the knowledge of Brahma as this Atma, Nyatva, Sarva Bandhehi Pramuchyate. One is freed from all the bondage. Now, what is the bondage here? In Vedanta, bondage is the I and the me mind. Yeah? The notion and the conclusion that this is me, Anatma is me, and this belongs to me. So that erroneous identification, taking Anatma for Atma and Atma for Anatma, the mix-up, that is leading to bondage. So here, Brahmadev is pointing to when one abides as a Sakshi, gaining knowledge of the Avasthatraya Sakshi, one is freed from samsara, freed from the bondage. How just by knowing Atma Brahma, how will I be free from samsara dukkham? So this is because when I'm awake and I'm dreaming, is it pleasant all the time? Obviously not. I am tossed and turned, and I'm tossed and turned in the sukha dukkha samsara. Why? Because I have got identified, I am entangled, I'm so involved in these states. Because under the spell of Maya, Maya parimohita jiva. So here, gaining knowledge of Brahma, if I choose to stand apart as a Sakshi as an audience watching the movie, remember the movie of one's lives, then there is the space. Yeah, there is the space and there is that jnana. Yeah? So then I will not be overthinking and overreacting and getting caught up in the vyavahara. So that Atma, Satyam, Jagan Mithya mix-up will not be there. Now that does not mean that one remains as a statue. Yeah, obviously not. What is to be done is to be done. Yeah, Swamiji would give this example, as if you're going on a train journey, then this passenger will get off a station, especially in a junction, when the train will pause for a longer time, will get off to purchase idli or vada or something. Then idli, vada and coffee also he will drink. But constantly what is on his mind? On the signal, right? The time of departure, 5 minutes means I have to finish all this in 5 minutes and board the train. Yeah. So that is what the mantras are hinting at. When we lose sight of that supreme reality, Brahma Atma, we get caught up in the vyavahara, and that leads to samsara. So the clarity about Atma Satyam and Mithya Vyavahara is what is needed here. So this mantra talks about, that which is illumining all the three states, And there is a very beautiful analogy in the Panchadashi. Panchadashi is another beautiful text, Vedanta text attributed to one Swami Vidyaranya, great sage. So in the 10th chapter, there is an analogy given which is called Nataka Deepa Prakarana. The Prakarana is called Nataka Deepa Prakarana, which is the analogy of the theatre lamp. Theatre lamp. See, in Shankara's times and Vidyaranya's times, they used to have theatre, not movies, but theatre was there. So just imagine the theatre lamp, a lamp in the theatre which is shining so that the stage is illumined, the audience, the seats are illumined, and the musicians are all sitting, about to start the concert. It's a dance concert, maybe Arangetram. So then the dancer comes, and then she salutes the stage and begins the dance. And her abhinaya and her, what all she portrays, all the navarasas, everything the lamp is illuminating. The lamp is illuminating the musical instrument, musicians, the dancer, her abhinaya, audience, their applause, and their moods, everything. That is the Nataka Deepa. Then what happens? The dance concludes and the dancer exits. The musicians pack their instruments, they leave. The audience has applauded, they also leave. Now, the lamp is still there. The lamp is illuminating what? Absence of everything. That is the Sushupti Avastha. So, the Nataka Deepa Prakarana is a very good analogy to understand the light of consciousness that illumines the three states. So, we are like the dancer. In the Jagrat Avastha, there are so many moods, so many states of the mind compared to the Abhinaya. And then that Jyotisham Jyotihi is illuminating all the states of the mind in all the three avasthas. Yeah. So by now we would have understood that all these three worlds, whether it is waking, dream or deep sleep, where is it happening? A student of Vedanta will say, in my mind. The waking state is a play of the mind because all the perception is happening in the mind. And the dream, anyway, it is a projection of the mind. And deep sleep also, even though the mind is switched off, there is an absence of experience. Yeah. So, Jagrat Sapna Sushuptyadi Prapancham Yat Prakashate Tat Brahma Ahamiti Jnatva Sarva Bandhehi Pramuchyate. Now, we'll go to the next mantra, number 18. Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam. Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam. Bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet. Bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet. Tebhyo vilakshana sakshi. Tebhyo vilakshana sakshi. Chinmatroham sada shivaha. Chinmatroham sada shivaha. Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam. Bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet. Tebhyo vilakshana sakshi. Chinmatroham sada shivaha. So here, mantra 18, the mantra says, Trishu dhamasu. Dhama, dhama means abode. Yeah? The Gita also we had, no? Yad gatva nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. So dhama, we will often find this name in the north. Ashrams are called Mukti Dham, Param Dham, a place of stay, an abode. So Trishu dhamasu. So what are the three abodes for Atma? Jagrat, Sapna, Sushupti. Yeah, we are continuing the same topic. So Trishu dhamasu, in all the three dhamas, in the abodes for Atma, yad bhogyam bhokta bhogaha cha yad bhavet. Now let us look at this. These three words: bhogyam, bhokta, bhogaha. There is a difference between the three. Now, collectively, it is called Triputi or the triad. Now, bhogyam means what? Bhogyam means an object of enjoyment, like rasamalai or this flower or the smell of jasmine, or a concert. Anything that is enjoyed by a sense organ, contact with a sense organ is a bhogya vastu, yad bhogyam. Then who is enjoying and experiencing? Bhokta, that's the jiva, who is enjoying. Then bhogaha. Bhogaha is the experience of enjoyment, the experience. A simple example is, again, let's take this flower. This flower is right now a bhogya vastu, an object of enjoyment. Yeah? Because looking at it gives me happiness. I'm enjoying the experience of this flower. So I am the bhokta. Bhogya vastu is flower and bhogaha is the experience of enjoying the flower. I enjoy the smell, I enjoy the sight, I enjoy holding it. So all that is bhogaha. So like that, every experience has these three factors. Which three factors? Experiencer, object of experience, and the experience itself. Now, if you take sound, so there is a hearer, there is something heard, and there is the hearing. Taste, there is a taster, something tasted, and a tasting experience. Touch, something. The toucher, the one who is experiencing touch, and what is touched, and the experience of touching, like a blanket. I'm experiencing the soft blanket. Blanket is the bhogya vastu, and experiencing the soft blanket in winter is the bhogaha. So like that, we have every experience has these three factors. Now, it does not have to be tangible like this flower. What about hunger? What about compassion? What about beauty? They're all abstract bhogya vastus in the mind. I experience them also in the mind. Yeah? So Trishu dhamasu. So this mantra is saying in all the three states, there is this subject, object, and experience. Yad bhogyam bhokta bhogaha cha yad bhavet. But second line says tebhyaha. Tebhyaha means from these, vilakshana, distinct. Sakshi chinmatraha aham sadashiva. Yeah? But the mantra says, I am distinct from all these three. Yeah? Vilakshanaha is distinct. So one more thing here, the mantra 18 onwards, actually, it is Ashwalayana's feedback now. See, up to mantra 17, Brahmadev has finished the Upadesha. Yeah? So the first mantra, if you remember, Adihi Bhagavan Brahma Vidyam Varishtham. I want this Brahma Vidya, O Brahmadev, kindly teach me, O revered Bhagavan. Then second onwards, up to 17, Brahmadev has given the Upadesha. Yeah? Now, 18th onwards, the student is giving the feedback. Yeah? The Brahma Anubhava. What have I understood? So, these are actually the words of Ashwalayana, not Brahmadev. So, that is why there is an aham there. Now, the tvam, which Brahmadev used, the Guru uses, is changed to aham. Guru will say Tattvamasi, then what do I have to say? Aham Brahmasmi. Yeah? Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. So, same thing he is doing here. Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha Sakshi. Yes, Gurudev, I am distinct. I have understood that I am distinct from the subject, the object, and the experience in all the three states. Yeah, I am the Sakshi, the witnessing awareness, and I am Chinmatraha. Chinmatraha means Chit Eva. Matra means that alone. And Chit is consciousness. Yeah. So I am the light of consciousness, Chinmatraha. I am the witnessing awareness, and I am distinct from these three. Bhogyam, Bhokta, Bhogaha. Now we may wonder, see right now in the Jagrat Avastha, I am Swamini Sumatmananda. This is very clear to you and to me. Yeah? So, Swamini Sumatmananda is playing the role of the teacher. Yeah? But the Shastra is questioning even that. Yeah? Are you really Swamini Sumatmananda? Then the answer is, as Ashwalayana says, no. I am the truth of the Swamini. Yeah? I am the truth. That is the truth of Swamini. Swamini is just a role. If there are students, then Swamini will be the teacher. So that is a role. That is Namarupa. Yeah, that is the teaching happening in the Jagrat Avastha. But what is the nature? That is the Sakshi, which is common to all. So just as all of us are playing roles, so we are all Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha, distinct from all those roles, and we are all the Sakshi. Yeah? The witness of the play of the ego. See, the ego in Vedanta is not a negative term. Ahamkara. Ahamkara is aham karoti. So the ahamkara identifies with all these three states, plays different roles, and then enjoys different experiences. But the mantra says, Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha. You are the Sakshi, the witness of the states of your mind. Let's say I am happy, So Swamini is happy. Then after an hour or two, Swamini is sad. But there is a witness of the state of sadness, witness of the state of confusion, witness of the state of anxiety, anything. So that witnesses the play of the mind, the aging of the body, the flow of time. That is the Sakshi talked about here. Yeah? So then when we have the subject-object duality, like experience as flower, now I can say, oh, my mind will say, I don't like this flower, I like this one better. Yeah? The rose. This is because of my ragadveshas. I prefer rose and I dislike chaman. But this mantra says, as a witness, there is only pure experiencing. Yeah? So without ragadveshas, I'm able to see things as they are. A rose is a rose, chrysanthemum is a chrysanthemum, table is a table. So when that pure experiencing is there, that is the Sakshi state. Yeah? And that Sakshi, Chinmatraha Aham. And the last word is Sadashivaha. Sadashivaha is again in the sense of the Nirguna Parabrahma. Shiva also means ever pure and auspicious. Sada Shiva means that Shiva Tattvam or Atma Brahma is never subject to the Dvandvas, Sukham, Dukham, gain, loss, Papa, Punyam. No, it is ever pure. Like even the sun. The sun is the eye of the world, Jagat Chakshu. The sun illumines everything, all the three worlds. But it is asangaha. It is not affected by what it illumines. So to that Brahma, that Sakshi, which is illumining the three states, in which we are becoming the experiencer of various objects of experience, but not knowing that I am really the Sakshi and the witness of all those experiences. So that is why one cannot really become sad. If there is a sadness because of some event. So the Vedanta Shastra says, inquire more deeply. Sadness is a state of the mind. But you are the witness of the mind. So you are Ananda Swarupa Atma. So you are witnessing both the states of happiness and gains and losses and sadness. So the more one abides as that Sakshi Chinmatraha Sadashivaha, then the bondage, the clutch of the bondage will become looser and looser. So this mantra talks about the three abodes of Atma. Trishu Dhamasu, waking, dream and deep sleep. But I am the Ananda Swarupa, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. So that Sakshi cannot be seen because that is who you are. Consciousness. The example is given. Supposing you take a group photograph. Who will not be in the photograph? Who will be missing always? The photographer. The photographer will not be present in the group photo. Now, if you say, I will take a selfie so that everybody can come in the photo. Still, the camera is outside the photo. You hold your iPhone and you take a photograph, but the camera lens is outside the group photograph. So, which means whatever is experienced, I am the light, the consciousness, which is the witness of that experience. Drik eva natu drishyam. So that is this mantra 18. So these are some very intense manana mantras, or we can say even nididhyasana mantras. So if you reflect upon these mantras, churning them over and over in the mind, then we get a deeper understanding of Atma Satyam. But let us look at one more mantra today. Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pratishthitam, Mayi sarvam pratishthitam, Mayi sarvam layam yati, Tad brahmadvayam asmyaham. Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pratishthitam, Mayi sarvam layam yati, Tad brahmadvayam asmyaham. Some sandhis are there, mostly yan sandhi. Mai eva sakalam jatam. Mai, asmat shabda. In me. In me, everything is born. Sakalam jatam. The universe, everything is born in me. Then mai sarvam pratishtitam. And in me, everything is sustained or abides. The universe abides in me. Then Mahi Sarvam Layam Yati. And everything folds back or merges back in me. Layam. And Tat Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. Lot of sandhis there. Tat Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. So that Brahma, which is Advayam. Advayam is Advaita. Advaita means na Dvaitam. There is only one indivisible, pure consciousness like space. Space is the best example. Can we divide space? Are they, two spaces? No. Space is one, but it appears to me divided. Garden space, kitchen space, hall space, but space cannot be divided. Yeah? So too, Atma, Brahma is Advayam and Asmi Aham. So again, who is talking? Ashwalayana. So Ashwalayana is, sharing his Anubhava with the Guru, and I'm sure the Guru is very happy to hear all this. Aham Asmi Advayam. I am the one without a second. That Brahma Asmi, in which everything is born, everything is sustained, in which everything folds back. Yeah? So that word Jatam, Jatam means born. So everything is born in me, exists in me, and dissolves in me. Yeah? So again, go back to the Avasthatraya. Yeah? So when I'm awake in the morning, when I get up, whenever, 5, the moment I open my eyes, then everything comes back to my memory. Oh, today is Saturday. I have an Upanishad class. Then I have to do shopping. I've got a dentist appointment. Everything springs back. It was all in a frozen state in the deep sleep, and now everything is back. So, has not the waking world emerged from me after deep sleep? Mai eva sakalam jatam. And then we have seen how the world is experienced in my mind. Then Mai sarvam pratishtitam. Yeah? Pratishtitam means in me they all exist. Yeah? So the world appears. The moment I wake up, the world appears for me. My family is there, my home is there, my possessions are all there, and I continue where I left off. Mayeva sakalam jatam, Mai sarvam pratishtitam. So when the mind is awake, then the world is also very tangible. Yeah. Then when I go to sleep, Mai sarvam layam yati. I sleep, and where did the world go? No, the waking world folded back. Layam yati. Layam yati. And then further in that sleep, the dreamless sleep, even time, space is not there. Yeah? So everything folds back. There is layam in me, and the mind becomes still, switched off. Yeah? So this pratishtitam can be understood as I am the adhara. Yeah? So that adhara, the substratum, that from which the waking world emerges, is sustained. That is, Atma gives reality. Without Atma, how can I experience any world? We saw that earlier in shloka number 17. No? Yat prakashate jagrat swapna sushupyadi yat prakashate. So that which illumines all the three worlds, and then into which everything resolves back. Yeah? Tat Brahma, that Sakshi I am. Yeah. So that is the feedback that Ashwalayana is giving back to Brahmadev. This is like the example of the sun. See, the sun is not causing day or night. Although we say, okay, now it is a sunny day. The sun, na udeti, na astam gacchati. Sun does not really rise or set. But all of us, the anatma, the planets and the earth, they are going around the sun. So day and night are happening because of our movements, not because of the sun. So that is why the sun is compared to Atman. Atman is ever the silent, witnessing awareness, Chinmatraha, and then there are all these states happening alternatingly in succession because of the mind. So Atma illumines the mind, and in the mind we have the play of the worlds, waking, dream, and deep sleep. So that is the nature of the Atma. Like another example is the waves. So just as we see waves rising in the ocean and sinking back. So this mantra we can understand is the waking, the dream worlds are all like waves rising in the Atma and sinking back into the same Atma. Tat Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. Yeah. So this is an amazing shloka mantra here, 19, which is often quoted by all our acharyas and worth memorizing, which says that I am the origin of the world. Universe emerges from me, exists in me, and folds back into me. Yeah. So I'm not this ordinary Sukha-dukha bhokta jivaha, sometimes sukhi, sometimes dukhi. No, I'm the center of the universe. So we will stop with this mantra and we will chant a little bit the last few mantras and end. एतस्मात् जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी यत्परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सूक्ष्मात् सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यं तत्त्वमेव त्वमेव तत् जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते तत् ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते त्रिषु धामसु यद् भोग्यं भोक्ता भोगश्च यद् भवेत् तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः मय्येव सकलं जातं मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं मयि सर्वं लयं याति तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्